Hi, I'm Margaret Jurger, and I'd like to share with you some tricks that I've found that are fun and have helped children and adults read easier. I found these out as someone who's been working as a speech language pathologist for 45 years and as someone who's a mom and has done some research. I've put together 4 videos of different stumbling blocks that I've used tricks to help people read better. And they've been successful for me. And I was hoping to share them with you for free. Maybe it will be useful. Good luck. So today we're going to focus on number 3. And before I proceed on number 3, let me remind you that you could have looked at, if you want to, and you still can, look at something about letter and word reversals or more about phoneme awareness and a technique for helping people who have difficulty with phoneme awareness. But we're talking today just about number 3. And there's a variety of stumbling blocks that I ran into, and I wanted to share those with you. Knowing a bit about sound helps in decoding. Many years ago, I worked with a whole classroom over the summer who were children who had finished kindergarten, but there was a concern about their ability to cope with first grade. And the salient feature that I found that was causing them difficulty was they really couldn't tell you what the first sound was in a word, and therefore they couldn't do alliteration, and that was very important in first grade. So if you ask these kids, what's the first sound in dog? They would say dog. And you would say, oh, okay, let's do dog. And they'd say, but you're not saying dog anymore. These are pretty smart cookies. And how do you get them to separate those sounds, even though they actually aren't separate? First, I would do a train like this. I could put as many cars on it as I wanted. In this case, it's just 4. And we wouldn't have the other train at all visible. This is just the rhyme train. And we would say, okay, your name's Mark. Okay, so this first, we're going to go, let's put little objects on each one. One on the first car is Mark. Okay, we'll just put objects on there. They really wouldn't be able to tell you. Well, this will say Mark. So let's kick off the guy on the front and let's make him bark. And then let's make him fark. They don't have to be real words. Kids really like to do this game, especially with their name. Meanwhile, you're actually playing around with first sound. Years ago, kindergarten focused totally on rhyme, didn't bring alliteration in at all. And my experience has been this, I think, in the effort to move things along, the kindergarten teachers are now going back and forth between rhyme and alliteration. It's pretty confusing for some. So once they've really played with this, then you say, okay, we're going to play a new game. These guys, the rest of the guys, are going to have to get off the train. We're going to keep this guy here. So, arc, Mark. We're going to kick off arc. Let's make it Mike or Mac or money or Moby or meanie, anything you want. But we're going to keep this guy on the train. And we literally would take little objects and put them, you use coins, or I had some little cute little animals kind of thing that you could put on and take off the train. Meanwhile, they are now moving from rhyme to alliteration. And then when they get confused, you say, which game are we playing now? Or we're playing them where we kick the first guy off, or we kick the rest of them off? And it's helpful rather than use terms like rhyme and alliteration or, first sound or whatever you want to say. It helps. Then there are students who have difficulty discriminating between vowels and consonants. And that's pretty important. So we talk about vowels as being the singing sounds of all our language, of any language. And so we have the consonants try to block the air. And in fact, they do. Some do it better than others. Like B actually blocks it and then it lets it explode. Or S tries to trap it, but it comes out anyway. So you go through that, and then the quandary is, what's a short and a long vowel? And this becomes even more important. Most kids would answer, oh, a short vowel sounds short. So you say if, they say, oh, that's short. What about ah? Doesn't sound short to me. Okay, but we have a new rule. The new rule is that ah doesn't say its name. If he's too shy to say his name, then he's short. So let's consider the short ones shy and the long ones show-offs. So then you play this game. I used little matchbox cars, and I would drive on the blackboard or whatever on a piece of paper. You put the sound in here, and you say, okay, our sound is S. And I want you to drive your car. You have to decide which way you're going and tell me why. You're going to go over here where they can be sung, or you're going to go over here where something's trying to block the air. And of course you go here. Then you can go further, because it's kind of fun, and say, well, what is it that's trying to block the air? Let's see. This one makes it come out slowly. And you can even talk about what makes, the teeth are trying to block the air in that case, right? So you're done with that. So now we go back, new sound. This sound's going to be ah. Can we sing ah? Ah, we can sing it. It's not pretty, but we can sing it. So is he saying the name? What are those names of the vowels again? A, E, I, O, U? You have to know that. Then you go and you say, it's not saying A, it's not saying E, it's not saying I, it's not saying O, and it's not saying oo. We're going to call him shy. So he's short. Unfortunately, my little line should go down there. So then we get to longer words. The underlying principle is that consonants are bullies, and they try to block the air of the vowel that precedes it, which in fact is actually really the case. I think at one point, one of the kids really helped me realize that. So if I'm trying to say Bob, and I've got this right following the ah, I could say Bob, but it's harder. It's easier to say Bob. Consonants try to block the air. So then you start saying, okay, let's chop it up. And I say, use a pencil, because it's an educated guess how you chop it. And let's see what we got. So we've got this word here. First, I'm going to ask you to color in the vowels. So you know your names of your vowels, so you color them in. And then you have to see where you might put those lines. So let's say today we decided that it's going to be after that N, so can't say cone. It has to say con. So, so can be long, because no bullies are stopping it. And nut, boy, that guy is really trapped. He can't say anything other than the shy, short vowel. Now, I could have put the line here after the N, and I would have consonant, which is okay too. Meanwhile, what you're doing is you're fooling around with it till it kind of makes sense. There's also this idea that if you have a friend that's a vowel, he can keep the consonant busy so that you are free to say your name. So in this case, the vowel is on the other side. So they're kind of trapping the M. That way it can say came instead of calm. This guy has a vowel right next to him to protect him from this bully. And so he can say his name, Reem. These are just fun ways of helping kids enjoy, and they are actually true. In many cases, we do have exceptions. Let me tell you something I've noticed over the years is that kids that have trouble with discriminating vowels and consonants, especially short vowels, they don't really get the rules like this very well. Once they start hearing that, oh, this one breaks the rule and that one breaks the rule, they're relieved because they decide there is no rule. This is useful for a while, especially if they're good visually. They just memorize the words. But it backs up when they become multisyllabic words. One of the things I found fun with these are kids that, and adults actually, and I work with adults who have difficulty with syllabification, really figuring out what the syllables are and saying them. These are Poschetti people, or sometimes it's just too many syllables. I have a problem with pronouncing some of the drugs, metropolo or metropolo, or if you decide first you get the pronunciation from somebody who knows what they're saying, and then you walk backwards to each syllable. This is a curious thing. It works. I tried getting it to use fingers like syllable. It doesn't work. I think it's because we're used to doing this. Our brain says, oh yeah, I got that one. It doesn't really. If you walk backwards and first, like if you have a circle table or whatever, you go in a circle and you go with your person that's having trouble. And you make sure that there's not 2 steps for one syllable, there's 1 step per syllable, and the syllables are correct. And you do that a couple of times, maybe 6 times, 7 times, and you just stop and you say, can you say it? And they are so surprised that it comes out correctly. This is fun. So what would you like to do next? You might want to talk to me about something. You might want to email me with your comments. We could schedule a Zoom, a one-to-one, if you want to really just talk about your particular situation. Good luck.